Imagine walking through Stanford's leafy campus and spotting a beat-up 1986 Volkswagen van parked by a professor's office. Its owner is David Cheriton, a soft-spoken computer science professor, and also one of the richest people on the planet. You heard that right. This humble academic is a billionaire, who even Forbes notes pretends he isn't. He once helped Google get its start, yet today he still drives that same 1986 VW van and lives in the same modest Palo Alto house he's had for decades. What? A billionaire teaching right in front of us? That's the counterintuitive story nobody taught in school. David Cheriton started out like any other Stanford professor, chalk in hand, talking about networks and algorithms. But fate intervened in 1998. Two young grad students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, showed him a new search engine idea. On Cheriton's porch, computer networking legend Andy Bechtolsheim wrote a $100,000 check to jumpstart Google. Cheriton quietly matched that check. That modest $100,000 investment, just pocket change for a university professor, turned out to be the spark that lit a tech empire. Therefore, Cheriton unwittingly became a Google angel investor. That single $100,000 stake would later be worth billions as Google grew. It's a wild but-for moment in his life. But this professor's story isn't just about luck. After Google took off, Cheriton continued teaching and researching as usual. Instead of upgrading to a mansion or sports car, he basically kept living like the student-focused professor he always was. You'd think someone who helped launch Google would live large, but Cheriton did the opposite. Forbes and Money Talks News highlight that he still drives the same 1986 Volkswagen Vanagon he had before he made his money, and has lived in his small Palo Alto home for 30+ years. He even cuts his own hair and reuses tea bags to save $1.05. No tuxedos or yachts for this man. He's famous for rejecting extravagant spending. In fact, he once expressed disdain for houses with 13 bathrooms in interviews 6. In short, nothing about his outward life screams billionaire. He chose to be rich, not just to look rich. This grounded lifestyle meant Cheriton had plenty of capital to do what mattered: invest and create. Instead of flashy consumption, he plowed resources into technology ventures. For example, in the 1990s, he co-founded Granite Systems, a network switching company that Cisco eventually bought for $220 million. A few years later, he teamed up again with Andy Bechtolsheim to co-found Arista Networks, a cloud switching company, which went public successfully in 2014. On top of that, he backed dozens of startups, at least 20 in all, including early bets on VMware and more. So when Google's value exploded, Cheriton wasn't content to hold that cash. He multiplied it through smart bets on the future. Therefore, his quiet investments compounded into an enormous fortune, far beyond the typical academic salary. What can we learn from Cheriton's path? It's something no classroom ever covered. Schools taught him math and science, not how to get rich. Yet his life demonstrates a rule they never mention. Don't chase status, build real wealth. Instead of flaunting money, Cheriton invested it wisely and kept his costs low. He summed it up without teaching. You have the opportunity to either look rich or be rich. And he clearly chose to be rich. Think about it. School might encourage getting a high-paying job and buying a nice car, but it rarely teaches how to invest early or live below your means. But Cheriton instinctively did both. By not inflating his lifestyle, he had more to put into startups and savings. That strategy paid off. His $100,000 Google check alone grew to over $1 billion in value. Today, Forbes estimates Cheriton's net worth at around $19.8 billion, richer than many flashy tech founders. Yet he remains the same down-to-earth guy in the same van. That contrast is the takeaway. The one rule about money schools won't teach you is that real wealth often comes from restraint and long-term thinking, not from instant gratification. Cheriton's success shows that it's about how much of your money you keep and grow, not how much you spend to impress. In his own words, he chose the path of being rich, not just seeming rich. Schools may forget to mention this, but Cheriton's story drives it home. Wealth is built quietly through smart decisions. He took a gamble on Google, held on through patience, and refused to let status symbols derail him. When you crunch the numbers, his lesson is clear. Invest in ideas, spend modestly, and let time compound your gains. So next time someone tells you the smart move is buying a flashy gadget or taking a bigger apartment, remember David Cheriton at Stanford. His whiteboard was filled with code, and his garage housed an old van. Yet the wealth he quietly earned under those academic rules is the real treasure. That's the counterintuitive lesson. Never mind what school taught about money. The secret Cheriton reveals is to be rich through vision and discipline, not by merely looking rich. And that is the one rule about money schools will never teach you.